Hi, I'm Muse and welcome to a draw with me. As I mentioned in last week's video, I have a lot of collab videos to get through, so this one is with ARRTX. They have kindly sent me their set of 90 alcohol markers, which I am obsessed with. I am so happy that they wanted to collab with me on this, so I'll be using them in today's video. If you have watched my videos before, you would know that I have actually reviewed their alcohol markers before, so this isn't going to be a full-fledged out review, but I will be talking about them. And I am just so obsessed with these markers. They are my favorite alcohol markers. They're just so lovely to use and they just feel so nice. So I was so super excited when I got to filming this video. So here I am just swatching all of the colors on the swatch sheet. It took a little bit of time because, like I said, there's 90 colors, but I had tons of fun filling it out and seeing all of the different colors, and I can honestly say that there is such a nice variety of different colors. You get such a lovely range. You obviously get the colors of the rainbow, apart from an orange, which I did struggle with because there is a rainbow in this illustration, but there is also pastels, and I absolutely love ARRTX's pastel markers because they are beautiful. There's just, oh my gosh, they're just amazing. And then there's obviously the blacks and the greys, which is really nice. There are some really light greys and then some really dark ones. You can't really go wrong with this set because there really is almost every single color that you would need, especially like if you were picking this up if you're a beginner, although it's a bit expensive, so I'd go for one of the smaller sets. But I can wholeheartedly recommend this because I adore their markers, and I will say that forever and ever. They just perform so well and the colors are just gorgeous. Anyway, enough talking about how much I love their markers because you hear that all the time whenever I'm using them in videos. So let's move on to the actual illustration. I was so super proud with how this page turned out. I just absolutely knew that I had to use it for a video, so here we are. What I was going for was like something whimsical, and I feel like this specific illustration of the shrimp with the rainbow behind it is perfect for the whimsical kind of theme I was going for, and I think I did it really well. Although it did take a few tries to get the shrimp right. Like, this is my second time drawing a shrimp, so I didn't really know how to stylize it in my style, but I think I got it in the end and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And like I mentioned, there's no like orange in the set, so instead of orange I had to use this like dark yellow to substitute it in the rainbow, so I was a bit worried that it would make it look a bit weird, but luckily it turned out looking fine, so I'm quite happy with that because I was really happy with this drawing, so I didn't really want to mess it up. I love this illustration so much that I might be considering making a print out of it to put in my shop, because it's just, I don't know, I really like how it turned out. I would have to fix up some bits digitally, but that's no problem. That's quite a fun process. I feel like when I do change it up digitally, I might put a white outline just on the shrimp so it can like really stand out, although I think it already stands out pretty well. I just want to give it more of a pop because I want that to be the focus of the illustration, because I feel like there really is no focus point because there's just so much going on. So I feel like just adding the white outline would be quite beneficial and like just make it pop. I also had tons of fun with the like frame slash border. I don't really know what you would call it, but the decorative border. I tried using more pastel colors because I feel like the actual inside illustration bit is more saturated, so I wanted to give it a bit of a softer look. But yeah, I also think it just gives a bit more whimsy because I feel like without the border it wouldn't feel as like magical, whimsical, you know, fairy, although it is a shrimp, not a fairy, but hopefully you get what I mean. So I think this border really added to that. Although I felt a bit stuck with what kind of little symbols and like illustrations I wanted inside of the squares of the border, so I just like added some pretty basic things. Another thing to point out though is that I think this sketchbook, the paper just like makes these markers bleed so much. So as you can see when I'm placing down the colors on the border, it's like bleeding a lot. You probably noticed that with the shrimp too, but it's not that noticeable when I go over with pencil. So thank God for that. But the butterfly that I drew on the border, that just ends up looking like an X, which is not what I was going for, but hopefully it doesn't look weird. I also tried my best to be as light-handed as possible, because if you only place down a little bit, it definitely controls it better, but as you can see, even when I'm being light-handed, it still bleeds like crazy. And that's like normal with markers, but I think this paper just makes it so much worse, so I should be using a different sketchbook, but I don't know, I don't mind it that much, because if I did, I would definitely be using a different sketchbook. But for now I don't mind, I just like doing everything in one sketchbook, so I'm just gonna continue. Plus, it turns out looking great anyway, so I'm not that bothered about the bleeding. And I didn't know if I should leave in me using the pencil for line art, because I didn't know if that was like a bit boring, because not much is happening. I'm literally just outlining everything, and I feel like I should be focusing on the markers. But I included it anyway because I feel like sometimes it's just like this random jump from like it looking unfinished to suddenly being finished because I went over with pencil. But with this illustration, I went over with a purple pencil because that was the darkest color in the illustration. So I thought it ended up looking really nice, and I'm very happy with my choice. I also didn't worry too much about making these lines straight, as I liked the idea of making it look sketchy, and I think I made it look good that way. Like, I feel like I don't want it to be perfect, I just want it to be fun and creative, and once again, I feel like that adds to the whimsy of it. I loved lining the shrimp, but this area right here makes it look like the shrimp has udders, and I don't know if it's just me. Please let me know, should I edit it out? It's meant to be like tiny little legs, but I feel like it looks like udders. Anyway, like I said, it's like my second time drawing / coloring a shrimp, so if it does look like udders, I am very sorry. I also finished off the illustration by going in with white gel pen to add some sparkles because I felt like the sky looked very plain and I wanted to give some shine to it. So on this page, I had initially drawn the shrimp and the salmon at the bottom first, so I didn't actually know what to do in this corner, which is why there's like a random like party fish, which actually now that I think about it, it's not that random. But what I meant to say is this little guy here is just like filler. He wasn't really thought out that much. I just thought, why not give this little guy a little party hat? I think that would be cute, and he actually does look really cute. I also want to talk about some of my techniques. So as you can see here, I was blending out the darker blue with the lighter blue. I used the chisel tip and just kind of did like circular motions. I personally find that when there's a dark and light color that you want to blend, I sometimes kind of overlap the dark color onto the lighter color, and then with the lighter color, I will use circular motions on top of the darker color, and then like going back and forth, doing the motions from the darker color to the lighter color, and then going back to the darker color, and I feel like that just blends out really well. Hopefully that makes sense. Another thing that I like to do that you see me doing right here is once a color has finally dried on the page, I'll go back with the same exact color that was there and I just place it as like shadow or add a bit of depth, because I find when a color has fully dried, if you go back with that same color, it will darken it. It's like layering up watercolor in a way as well. Adds a bit of depth and I think it looks good. I don't know, I like to do that with the face as well, like portraits. I do plan on making some shorts here on YouTube about like my alcohol marker techniques. I've already uploaded one about blending, so if you want to learn to blend, you can just watch that quick short and hopefully it's understandable and pretty straightforward. I don't know, hopefully my tutorial helps, but yeah, it's on my shorts and I plan on making more about other things that I do with alcohol markers that you might not have known about. But also bear in mind that my own techniques that work for me might not work for you. You might find that someone else's works for you, or you might have to find your own technique that works for you. I personally don't use colorless blenders, so if you do enjoy using colorless blenders, I'm probably not the best help out there, but who knows, if you watch my shorts on alcohol marker techniques, you might find something that works for you. But yeah, don't feel discouraged if they don't though, because you'll definitely either figure it out on your own or find another video that helps you. That being said, there's no like rules to art. There's no like one way to do anything in art. It really is trial and error and seeing what suits you best. Like you might see something and use that as guidance, and then you might evolve it and adapt it into your own style, which is the cool thing about art, really. There is so much you can do, there are so many different ways to do things, and the best thing is you'll do it to how it works best for you. But yeah, I actually do really like how this party fish turned out. I liked the colors and I really liked how silly he looks, and he really does suit the page quite a lot, so I'm very happy with that. Now we're moving on to my favorite thing on the page, and that is this salmon illustration. It's meant to look like a stamp, which is why it's got the weird like frame / border around it. And going back to the blending techniques, you'll see with like its face that I didn't do much to blend the two colors together. They were so close together on like the color wheel that they kind of just merged and blended on their own whilst they were still wet. I also think it has to do with how they were wet and still bleeding because of the paper, so that's also a factor to how it blended so seamlessly and quickly / easily. I also just really love how the face turned out. I think the colors are gorgeous, like that kind of bluey green at the tip of its like mouth. It was honestly an accident. I just picked out the wrong color, but then I was like, I wonder how it will look if I just blend another color into it. So then there's that lighter green that you see that goes towards the body, and those colors are just so beautiful. I also messed up with the bottom mouth, like the bottom jaw. The colors are also wrong there, but it turned out looking pretty good. I just blended them again to make it look like it was on purpose. Overall, I honestly just love how the salmon turns out. I think he looks so gummy. He looks very gummy, very silly, but also very friendly. He's just very cute. This kind of makes me want to make a salmon sticker. I feel like that would be very fun. Maybe if I just take this and like scan it digitally and then just kind of fix it up, then it would be like the perfect salmon sticker. Like, I can see him going places. I can see him going on my cup. I can see him going on my iPad case. I can see him going in my journal, on my sketchbook. Yes, I think he's so cute and I must make a sticker of him now. I'm gonna be honest, it's been so nice coming back to YouTube after like a month break. It's fun interacting with all of you guys that comment. It's also really it's really nice seeing my own progress. Like, I feel like I'm getting better at making videos every time that I do make a video, so I'm kind of proud of myself, but also it's just like really fun. I think that's the reason that I'm getting better. It's because it's just fun. I enjoy it quite a lot, and it's really rewarding seeing your feedback and seeing you guys get excited about my videos. So that's honestly what keeps me going. Something that I really want to do this year with my videos is be more confident, because I feel like sometimes I get really nervous, especially when doing voiceovers. Like, it takes me a really long time, especially at the beginning. Like, I hated, honestly, I hated doing voiceovers because I was just so nervous and I just didn't know what to talk about. But I feel like I'm also getting better at knowing what to say and being more of myself and just, yeah, feeling more confident talking for my videos. But I do find it a little easier when I am talking whilst I'm drawing, although I do like to draw in silence whilst I'm watching a video, so I think it's a bit better when I do the voiceovers because I'm better at drawing when I'm watching a video. A lot of like my videos have been just me testing out what works. So there's been a lot of trial and error. You know, some videos have gone terribly, especially in the beginning, but that's, you know, everything comes with experience. So if you are thinking about starting a YouTube channel but you're scared, honestly, the best thing you can do is push through, get to the editing stage, and see how you feel. Because it took me, I think, like a year to even just talk in front of a camera. I was so scared I couldn't even talk in front of a camera, but look at me now, I am trying to upload like every week. So I feel like I've come very far, and hopefully that's motivational / inspirational, especially for those of you who don't know where to start. I cannot remember how I got onto that topic, but anyway, that is pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you all next week. Bye bye!